We are traveling through Pennsylvania on an epic road trip through the state. We just spent the last month in Pittsburgh, where we fully explored the city, checked out the lovely sights, and ate a lot of delicious food. Today we are heading to Philadelphia, making several stops along the way. We're gonna spend about 10 days there before we circle back and basically make a loop around the state. But first, we're starting our day here at McDonald's, but not just any McDonald's. This is the Big Mac Museum. Not sure if you can see it yet, but I can already see a Big Mac, a giant Big Mac in there. And that's because this is the original location that created what we know today as the Big Mac. It's about, I don't know, 30 minutes outside of Pittsburgh in the town of Irwin. And yeah, Big Mac started here. Although, I guess it was actually, I think, someone that worked at the corporate office of McDonald's that named it the Big Mac. I like Big Macs, but Jeremy doesn't really like them, so are you gonna get a Big Mac?
I mean, they're not my favorite, but I will get one because it's the home of the Big Mac.
Carly says, I want a Big Mac! Oh no, their dining room is currently closed. You can still see the giant Big Mac in there though. Their place has a giant Big Mac. I think that there's like actually some memorabilia and like there's a little museum showing how it's the Big Mac capital of the world, or I guess where it originated, but I guess we'll just have to get our Big Macs in the drive-thru. I'm so excited because even though we didn't get to go inside, I'm still gonna eat a Big Mac from the place that Big Macs were created. And Big Macs are like one of my favorite things here. I mean, if I had to choose one thing that was my favorite thing, it would be
the fries.
The fries, yeah, the fries. And if number two, sausage McMuffin. But number three is solid Big Mac. Solid Big Mac for number three. What about you? What's your McDonald's number one item? Or is it none of them? Because that's probably what Jeremy would say. Cheers. Tink. You know, we may not have been able to see the actual museum, but we got to sit and eat a Big Mac in the place it was created and have a view of the cool giant Big Mac that's inside.
That's true.
I'll take it. Plus, you know, it's a weird time. We've happened upon a lot of places that look like they're open online and they just aren't, and it happens. It happens. We'll just have to come back. Our next stop is in the town of Latrobe, home of Fred Rogers. His childhood home and grave are in this town. If you want to learn more about his life in and around Pittsburgh, we actually made a video about it, including visiting the Heinz History Center, which has actual sets and props from Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. That video will be up here if you want to check that out. This town also has another claim to fame, and that is the banana split. This is the hometown, the birthplace of the banana split. Well, depending on who you ask. It is somewhat debated. A lot of people seem to think that the banana split was invented right here by a clerk named David Strickler here at what used to be the Tassel Pharmacy. If you asked anyone in Wilmington, Ohio, they would say that they are the town that invented it in 1907. But, like this sign says right here, theirs was invented in 1904, making it the first banana split. Do you think that one town invented it over the other? Do you think that Wilmington got the idea from here and took it back? Or do you think that they could have both invented it? I happen to think that these two towns could have independently invented them and not known that the other town also invented it. I mean, stranger things have happened, right? According to several signs that we've been seeing around town, this is also the home place of Arnold Palmer, which I don't know a lot about golf. I'm not a big fan of golf by any means, but what I am a big fan of is fun drink concoctions, like mixing lemonade and iced tea. So I like that, Arnold Palmer.
Thanks, Arnold.
Our next stop is about 45 minutes east of Latrobe. Right behind me is the site where United Airlines Flight 93 crashed on September 11th, 2001. After being hijacked as part of the 9/11 attacks, the heroic passengers revolted against the hijacking and caused the plane to crash here. It would have landed over here, and I think most of the debris was found out this way. It is now a national park. It's the Flight 93 Memorial National Park. There's a visitor center here up on the hill, and there's some nice trails that connect to the Memorial Plaza here. At the end of the Memorial Plaza, there is a wall of names of all of the members of the Flight 93. Just what a heroic thing. You know, I think it's debated on whether or not they actually took control of the flight or not, but either way, the Al-Qaeda, the hijackers, I think they knew that they were trying to take control and were going to take control soon, and so they crashed here. So could have targeted the Capitol. I think that's what they think that the target was. Could have been the Capitol building. So it's kind of amazing thing that they did to prevent that. The sign is saying that it would have been less than 20 minutes from where they crashed to the Capitol. It's pretty incredible. Some other wreckage of the crash. This says thousands of pieces were found. There's a photo here of the crash. I think it's that barn way up there on the hill. So it would have been from the other side of it. And with the smoke coming out from over here. 9/11 was one of those, I think they call them a flashbulb event, a flashbulb moment, something like that, like a historic event, like a monumental thing that happens that kind of everyone has a memory of where they were when they heard the news. I'm curious if you were alive and you remember it. Where were you? How did you find out about 9/11? For me, I was still in high school, and I remember my mom waking me up on the West Coast. It was still quite early when it happened, and I just remember watching the news that morning and just in shock and awe, as I'm sure a lot of you also were, especially those of you who were affected by the attacks. It's a very quiet, peaceful place, and I'm glad we stopped here.
Sprinkle on a small amount, emphasis on small,
we just saw an
Parmesan cheese.
carriage. We made it. We made it to Philadelphia in our cute little studio apartment here. We are gonna spend the next 10 nights here, where we are going to see the lovely sights, eat the lovely foods, and have a touristy fun time. We will see you soon in Philadelphia. What do you think of your new home for the next week? You like it? Is it an upgrade? Is it an upgrade? Yeah? You like that you can sit on the couch while we're on the bed? She probably does like that it's a studio because she's like, less space for you to be away from me from.